Hi, this is Tracy HD, and I want to thank you for joining me today for our weekly Oracle and Tarot card reading. And this is going to be for the week of April the 6th. We're using Wisdom of the Oracle deck by Colette Baron-Reid. And as I shuffle the deck, I'm asking all light beings, angels, and God, please relay the message I need to share with my viewers the highest good of all. At the beginning of the week, take a card from the top. And you can use this as a 3-card blended type of reading, or you may use this as a pick a card, 1, 2, or 3. I'll take the center card as card 2 and the bottom card as card 3. Okay, and let's see what we have here. So card number 1 is Between Worlds. And how beautiful is that? We have this flamingo, and we have this cloudy day at the beach, and then this beautiful turquoise blue sky at the beach. So it's more or less like night and day. And this is card number 3. And this whole deck is very amazing. That's why I've been using it quite a bit lately. And this card reads, Between worlds is where you must let go of the tendency to make assumptions. This is a time when you are unable to see what is ahead. Cultivate curiosity and trust the process of change and growth. You are done learning the lessons of recent experiences. In this place between what was and what will be is a state of making and unmaking and making again. What is essential now is to admit not knowing. There is a great freedom and power to be unleashed. A mystery that is not yours to understand weaves the web of life within a divine matrix of consciousness greater than your own thoughts, feelings, beliefs, desires, and decisions. The seeds that were planted in the past begin to take root, but what surfaces will probably not be what you expect. When you're between the worlds, you're invited to see with the curious eyes of a child glimpsing a rainbow for the first time. Do so, and you will not be disappointed. Yeah, we've all gone through such lessons lately, challenges, tests. And you know what? As I grow older, I just have to realize that just not knowing is sometimes what state we're in. We can't predict how things are going to turn out. We just need to keep an open mind and know that whatever happens is for our highest good. And right now we are between worlds. And getting comfortable with not knowing is something that I've put so much hard work and effort into. I was the kind of person who had to know exactly what I was doing, where I was going, what was going to happen at all times. And you know what? It only stresses you out. It only exhausts you. Sometimes it's just better to go with the flow and be comfortable in not knowing what tomorrow is going to bring. But just know that whatever we've experienced recently, and I've learned some very, very serious life lessons since last summer. And I know that whatever I went through was meant to be. It was in divine order, and somehow it's going to turn out to be a blessing in disguise. So just remember that, not knowing is not as anxiety producing and exhausting as it needs to be. Just let things go, let life unfold. Whatever is going to happen is going to happen. And look at, we've survived 100% of our worst days. So there's really nothing to fear. So, now is the time to just trust the process that we're all changing and we're all growing. And, just because you don't know what's up ahead, okay, it's okay. Do not fear it. Whatever it is will truly be for our highest good. And then the next card, card number 2, and this is actually card 10, Unfinished Symphony. And I love the whimsical artwork of these cards. We have this woman here, and she's sitting, looks like in a lotus position, on top of this egg. And there's like a piano keyboard with all these notes surrounding her. And there's a face right here in the middle of the egg, which is very peculiar. Very imaginative, some of these pictures on these cards. And maybe that's why I like them so much. They're really out of the ordinary. And it says this is time to tie up loose ends as you near the completion of a cycle or project and mastery of a lesson or skill. Wow, doesn't that tie in with the first card? We're learning our lessons, we're mastering our skills, and each experience, each challenge, no matter how painful it was, is helping you grow. It's helping you, with self mastery. I mean, we're learning so much more about ourselves with each thing that we go through. And we just keep building upon and building upon the last lesson we've learned. And it's just pushing us along our spiritual path. And it says, before you can move forward, it's important that you come to terms with where you are now. Practice radical acceptance. Take inventory so that emotional and psychological closure can occur and the answers you seek will be found. You can't move forward if you're leaving things unfinished. Reflect on what has passed so that the symphony can finally end on a high note. And, it's saying moving on is difficult. Okay, when there's things left unsaid, with maybe a friend, a family member, a lover, and a lot of you haven't had the opportunity for closure. I know myself, a relationship that was very significant in my life had ended, and I didn't get closure from this person. So, you know what? I gave myself closure by just accepting it is what it is and, just moving on. Okay, sometimes you don't get that closure that you waited for. Sometimes you don't get that apology that you waited for. But be okay with this, okay? Be okay because you're at the end of completing a cycle, okay, and mastering whatever lesson the situation has taught you. And, it's important to come to terms with, where you are now and accept that things are the way they are. And even if we can't figure it out, and even if it doesn't make sense, somehow, some way, it will. It will. It's all part of the divine plan. And it's all in divine timing and divine order. So it's telling you before you could move on to a next chapter in your life, you need to close this chapter. Whether you got the closure you wanted, the apology you wanted, the understanding that you wanted, it doesn't matter. You're closing this chapter, you're accepting it is what it is, and you're moving on. And then the third and final card is the tribe. And how cute is this? We have this mother or father giraffe. It's an adult-sized giraffe, and this little baby. And he or she is kissing the little baby on the forehead. And, we have these leaves blowing, and it looks like there's a bird up here, and, this grass hut. And this is card number 8. And what an interesting card this is as well. And it's saying this card signals a new affiliation with the group. Humans are social creatures, and we need to know we are useful to our tribes, families, and communities. In a tribe, everyone has an important function and feels I matter. Membership in the group provides a sense of belonging, of kinship, and of purpose that comes from working together for the greater fulfillment of all. Perhaps you're part of a spiritual community or an artistic one. Perhaps you're in a learning community where you share your love of education. Regardless of its form or focus, your community brings you joy. You will be inspired by it and want to contribute to it. Your contribution may be as small as showing up or as large as becoming its leader. No matter your position in the tribe, your presence is needed. So, yeah, and you know, this brings me back to the idea that, our families don't have to be blood relatives. It could be like-minded people that we belong to, our tribe, our soul family, our family of choice, whatever you want to call it. And a lot of us are getting involved in these online communities. We're sharing our experiences. We're We're helping to improve the collective and, offering whatever wisdom we have for the highest good of all. And this is such a beautiful picture, no matter how big or small your part is in part of these groups and tribes and collective, it all matters. It all adds up. Okay. And, the most important thing is that, you share whatever wisdom, whatever knowledge you have with whatever group you belong to, whatever kinship, and with all of us working together, we could really make a difference. And I make these videos in order to help people because I want to share my wisdom and knowledge. I've led a very interesting life, to say the least, and a lot of painful situations that I've survived and gotten through. And I just want to share these things with people to let them know that they're not alone. So whether you're sharing things in a group or you're doing things like I'm doing here on my own with these videos, or maybe you're going to be writing a book, whatever it is, sharing knowledge and putting it out there and, connecting with like-minded people is more important than it's ever been. Okay. It gives you a sense of purpose. It gives you a sense of, what your place is in this world. Very, very interesting reading this week. If you've enjoyed this reading, please like it by giving it a thumbs up, share it, and above all, subscribe because I will be back with more.